Hi, I'm Karen Mallinger, and it's time for Sage Advice. Let's get started. I remember moving from beautiful Colorado to upstate New York in 2000. I love the snow and the cold, so I was not the least bit deterred when folks told horror stories about the massive snowfalls and brutal winters I'd encounter in Buffalo. When we were about halfway through November, I discovered that I was feeling pretty gloomy. Irritability, wanting to crawl under a quilt, be left alone, and withdrawing from people. These were all symptoms that I hadn't experienced before. I wrote it off to the change in location, the holidays, the new job, etc. After the new year came and went, I was still miserable. And anyone who knows me knows I'm one of those annoying people who is happy and talking all the time. So I could not figure out why I couldn't get out of this funk. I was taking St. John's wort like there was no tomorrow. And although it was helping, there was still something terribly wrong. Time to hit the yearbooks and do a little research. To my surprise, I discovered I was probably suffering from SAD, seasonal affective disorder. It's very real and it causes untold suffering to millions of people every year. Maybe you're one of them. SAD is a type of winter depression that affects an estimated 10 million people every winter between September and April, in particular during December and January and February in the United States alone. I'd heard of these winter blues before, but I lived in Colorado in the winter for 10 years, and I can tell you I never felt like this. It had to be something else. Nope. Evidently, SAD is caused by a biochemical imbalance in the hypothalamus due to the shortening of daylight hours and the lack of sunlight in winter. Some scientists have theorized that melatonin, which is a sleep related hormone that's also linked to depression, might be the culprit. Production of melatonin increases during the long days of winter. Also, as many as 3% of all school aged children have SAD. What's worse is that this is often misdiagnosed as ADD and ADHD. Yep. If your child is suffering from ADD like symptoms when forced to stay indoors, try getting them up off the couch and outside if the temperature permits, or sit them under a full spectrum lamp for at least 45 minutes per day and see if you notice any improvement. Other research suggests that a lack of serotonin, that nasty little brain chemical that keeps us all happy, seems to be triggered by sunlight. People who are depressed are known to have decreased levels of serotonin in their brains. Aha! Some of the symptoms of SAD, and no, it is not all in your head, are a change in sleep patterns, oversleeping but not refreshed, can't get out of bed, needing afternoon naps. Okay, let's be honest, who doesn't? But if it becomes a regular part of your life when that's not the norm for you, it might be something you want to take a look at. Depression, feelings of despair, misery, guilt, anxiety, hopelessness, etc. Normal tasks become frustratingly difficult, withdrawal from friends or family, avoiding company, tough during the holidays, I grant you, crankiness or irritability, lack of feeling or emotion, a constant state of sadness. Anything like this might be cause for you to have it checked out. Lethargy. This is decreased energy. Everything is an effort. Decreased productivity. I'll do it tomorrow. I just don't have the energy. Things like this should be red flags to you to go ahead and check to see if SAD is really affecting you. Physical ailments. If you see an increase in joint pain, stomach problems, lowered resistance to infection, weight gain. Okay, I admit some of this is due to all the cookies during the holidays, but I'm personally using this as my excuse for holiday weight gain this year. PMS worsens or only seems to occur during this period. Again, you have a normal status, homeostasis, balance. You know what that is. And so anything that is a departure from what feels normal to you is something that you're going to want to look at. We are not a cookie cutter community. Every one of you is unique and wonderful. And if something feels off to you, don't let someone tell you it's all in your head or you just need more sleep or something like that. You know your body. And if something's off, get someone that will listen to you and try to get this dealt with. If you have behavioral problems, changes in your appetite, usually increased, carbohydrate craving, loss of interest in sex, difficulty concentrating, not accomplishing tasks. Again, this is apart from the normal. If this is how you normally are, there are probably other things we need to be looking at. But if this is a departure from your normal, something you might want to look at. Apparently, women are 3 times more likely than men to suffer from this disorder. Not quite sure why that is. Are they out more in the winter? People who live in colder climates have a higher incidence of SAD than those living in warm, sunny locations, although it has also crept up in places where it's not so hot or places where it is so hot that people don't go outside at all. As a matter of fact, Norway's population has the highest percentage of SAD sufferers of anywhere else on Earth. In the good old US, Washington and Oregon are well known high SAD risk areas. It's also been documented that suicide rates are higher in places of increased light deprivation as well as during the holidays. I'm seeing a link here. Great. Good, Karen. So, what do we do about it? I'm going to tell you. There's several things you can do, but some of them you are not going to like. I'm just saying. Following are some suggestions. First of all, daily vitamins with magnesium, B complex, and minerals. Easy, right? This is not rocket science and it doesn't have to be expensive. Reduce stress. I think homicide is illegal in most states, right? Elimination of refined sugars and flours. Okay, only one piece of pie for you this week. Walking or aerobic exercise. Come on, go outside and help the kids build a snowman. Get out there for at least 15 minutes, let the sun shine on your face, and make some vitamin D. St. John's wort. This is my salvation, truly, and I always take doses of this during the winter months when I feel sad coming on. Herbal remedies like lemon balm, ginkgo, kava, and of course, St. John's wort can be made into a tea. Already doing that. At least 30 minutes every day in the fresh air, preferably in the sunlight. But even if it's overcast, try to get outside, walking, exercising, and breathing in that fresh, cool air, especially in the winter, can really help to alleviate some of these symptoms for you. And exercise is a great antidote for SAD. Light therapy. This last suggestion is one of my best. My brilliant and loving husband got sick and tired of hearing me moan the first year that we were in New York, and he finally went to the store and bought some of those blue lights. They have the blue light from the spectrum, not like normal light bulbs. Okay, I can hear all of you screaming about how expensive they are, but I can personally attest to their effectiveness. Light therapy has been shown to be effective in up to 85% of diagnosed cases. That is exposure for up to 4 hours per day to very bright light, at least 10 times the intensity of ordinary domestic lighting. Ordinary light bulbs and fittings are not strong enough. Average domestic or office lighting comes in at about 200 to 500 lux, but the minimum dose necessary to treat SAD, hold on to your cookies, 2,500 lux. So doing this one simple thing is going to help you immensely to get through these next couple of months coming up. The treatment should be used daily in winter, starting in early autumn when the first symptoms appear. as the light starts to fade, and that actually starts on the 22nd after the summer equinox, the days start getting shorter. We don't really realize it or notice it until August or September. But when you see that happen, if you are significantly affected by SAD, I would start doing this right away. Again, it's what's normal for you. You don't need to have the light shining through your eyes, but that doesn't mean you have to sit and stare at a box for 4 hours a day. Although during football season, most of our significant others seem to rack up more than that on a Sunday. You can carry out normal activities such as reading, working, eating, and knitting while stationary in front of the light. Treatment is usually effective within 3 to 4 days, and the effect continues provided it's used every single day. Tinted lenses or any device that blocks the light to the retina of the eye should not be worn during this therapy. I have these all over my office and in my shop, and they go in the lights in October and they stay there until April. So go spend the extra bucks, even if it's only for the lamp on your desk, and try this out as well as the other suggestions. You can find them at your local hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, or even the dreaded Walmart. And let's start the new year off right and make everyone a little happier. Let's get better, everyone. Again, I am Karen Mallinger. I'm the Herb Gal. You can reach me at herbgal.org. You can go to my clinic at Northwoods Family Chiropractic in Iron River, Michigan. I'm there Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But if you need an appointment, just give me a call. My number is on the website. Also, subscribe to my newsletter. I give recipes, I give tips, I give hints, and I do a monthly meal challenge. So go and visit me at the website. And I am here on this podcast every Monday at 9 o'clock. So I'll see you next week. Make it a great week, and let's get better.